Okay, we're going to get to the nitty-gritty of the new field to finish processes and some of the tools that are available to you. How to work with them, how to use them. So let's get into it. For one thing, when we ran field to finish, you notice there's a point overlap routine that you could run. You could do that after the fact too. It's under points, fix point attribute overlaps. Um, And we didn't have that alternate layout ID number 1 in the first time around. And that's because this alternate layout ID actually basically deletes the point attribute. For all intents and purposes, it takes it out of there. So in areas where the spot elevations are super dense, like this one, I would add that as a number 4 method to use in this situation. So let's try rotating, sliding, flipping, and alternate layout ID. And then I'm going to check this box here, review remaining overlaps. And I'll kind of show you how that works and some of the tools that are integrated in there. So we'll hit OK, and let's just fix this area here where there's a few small overlaps, and we'll just select them. That's another advantage to running it after the fact. You can select the area that you want to fix, do the point overlap fixes, and I'll show you why that's a good thing in a minute. So it did some fixing, fixed some of the issues, but there's a few that are left. And the overlap reviewer, that checkbox that we just checked a second ago, this will actually take you point to point to point and show you all of the overlaps. So let's just hit next. Let's find a good one that we want to fix. So here's a good one. These are overlap. We probably want to fix one. We want to fix this. Notice there's a 30.43 and then another 30.43. Pretty close to the same spot. Looks like we got I don't know, something like an edge of a concrete and some other break line there. So we're probably just going to want to delete one of those. So we can actually come over here and hit erase attributes, and it just takes it out. So that's nice and easy. Let's say you run in a situation where you want to keep both spot elevations. You just want to organize them a little bit better. You can hit this move attributes command here, and actually click on the piece of text, and it's automatically in a move command, and click to displace it, and now you're in a rotation command. So move and rotate is basically the command, and it automatically takes you through those steps to move and rotate. So let's just do another one just to show you. Let's see, let's go right here, and right there. So pretty nice, slick way of moving these attributes around. Another thing you can do is move block. I'll show you how that works. Just a little demo here. Basically moves it with the leader. Moves the text with the leader. So that's kind of how that works. This I don't think is the most ideal way to mess with these points, and I'll tell you why. This line that's created can get confused with. It may not appear to be a leader. We can mess with these settings and make it so that an arrowhead comes in here, and we probably will do that actually in case we run in a situation where we do need to move point elevations. So that's the overlap reviewer. Let's go through a few other options when it comes to editing these objects. Let's say you want to delete this. You can do the overlap reviewer, or you can actually come over here into the properties menu, and it actually lists the attributes, kind of like the border has a list of attributes that you automatically fill out. This also has the attribute that you can really type anything in there, or you can just hit delete and just make it go away. So that's another way to edit those attributes. You know, say you wanted to call this something else. Maybe they call it a bollard, and you wanted to call it a column for whatever reason. You know, pretty basic editing in the properties menu. Kind of makes it nice and easy. Um, let's see. And then there's edit multiple point attributes. Let's say you want to edit a whole bunch of attributes. Hope I don't freeze up here. Um, so let's do it by selection set. Let's say we want to change all of these to column. I don't know why you do that, but let's just say. We can select them. Oh, gotta select the actual point. Oh, no point selected. Hmm. Well, that one's not working for me right now. We'll come back to that one. That should be working. Edit multiple point attributes. Huh. Well, it's not working right now. But you can edit the. I think I have to restart my Carlson. Edit multiple point attributes. That command allows you to edit them too. I probably wouldn't use that one as much unless I had to edit a whole bunch of them at the same time. Most of the time I don't have to do it. I'm just focused on one or 2 points. So we'll come back to that one. Um, Rotating these, let's say you need to move or rotate these. You can actually do that manually. You scooch this piece of text over like so. Move them around. They basically function like a piece of text. They just happen to be a block. You know, grab them by the grip. Can rotate them. You notice the base point here has moved over. I don't believe that's an issue. You're not moving the point. You're just moving the base point of the block. So I don't think that's going to have any issue in regards to the CRD. When you're moving the attributes themselves around. Okay, now let's talk. Let's see. We've gone over layer control. And we've done the surface point group. I think we're doing pretty good here. There are a couple of disadvantages to this new field to finish. For instance, if we need to run field to finish on a previous job, we got new topo that's been run on a job from last year, let's say, where the original field to finish was run. We're going to have to use the old drawing template, and the old field to finish. So we're just going to have to keep that in mind for a while we're working on some of these older projects, and we'll get that all in writing, so it's a nice easy manual here. The other thing is the um, only the objects that we intend to plot are going to be coming in, which isn't all bad, but you can't actually see the descriptions and the point numbers and things like that. When you're drafting, obviously that's sort of a problem. So let me just create a quick point group here, and we'll run this. we'll run the draw points command. So you have to draw these points separately. This is under, make sure your default layer is under points. And you'll do draw locate points. Actually, I'm sorry, point defaults. And you want to make sure the attribute layout ID is number 5. Number 5 is a lot, it's the standard scale and format that we're used to. Also, this elevation is going to come in on a no plot layer. You don't want it to come in on this plot layer. So layout ID number 5 is what you want to select. And let's make these super small. And then we'll draw the point group. Normally I'd draw all of them, but this is a big drawing, and we don't want to draw all of them. So let's draw these points. Get these in here. And obviously the points layer, the PNTS, is a no plot layer. So all of these points that we're drawing here, they're not going to show up. Let's try this again. Yeah, they're not going to show up when you go to print. Let me just make sure. Oh, I think it did draw them. Oh, it did. Yeah. Okay. I think there's some setting that's that didn't allow duplicates. So all these points, none of these points plotted. Well, it looks like I only selected some of these points. So much for a good demonstration here. At least we can see how this how these are going to come in. If I were to do draw all, we'd see all these points come in. This is the last thing on the list, so if you want to stop the video, you can, or you can watch me do the rest of this. Let me just do draw all. This will just take a couple seconds. So I kind of want to show you the additional attributes that are going to be coming in that the drafter can use to identify what that point actually is. So here you got your point attributes that came in. They're all on the PNTS layer. They're a little smaller. If I were to do this again, I'd probably make them even a little smaller, but it depends on the preference of the drafter. And when I go to print this, we're not going to see any of those. Got test plot there. Not going to see any of those other points, just the plottable layers. So there's a demonstration. That's kind of how to work with some of the new objects, some of the new attributes, some additional tools there. And I'm sure we will bump into one or two things that will need to be fixed, so keep your eyes peeled if something's not working. We have run several jobs through this, taken them for test run, but just go ahead and let us know if there's anything that needs fixing. No problem, we'll jump on it and get this going get this as effective as possible. Thanks guys, and I hope this is a turn for the better, and I hope this is really useful and helpful stuff to all of you guys.